Hi, I'm Marshall Van Alstyne. I'm a classical professor of information at Boston University. I studied computer science undergraduate and information economics at MIT in graduate school. I'd love to talk to you about platform business models. So what's the role of technology in platforms? Well, maybe the first thing to do is define what's a platform to begin with. A platform is an open architecture with rules of governance to facilitate interactions among different sides. Each of those components actually matters, and the technology is the essential part for the open architecture. The open architecture is what lets third parties come in and participate in the ecosystem. The rules of governance is what motivates them to come participate in the ecosystem and also tells you how they create value. And the interactions are what actually create value, whether that's trade, whether that's interactions, whether that's purchases, whether it's posts and tweets. Those kinds of information sharing activities also create value. And it's the different sides and the sharing among those sides that helps create that value. So technology's role in all of this is really the open architecture element. Technology is essential in the ability to either reduce friction on participation or giving you the resources to combine and help create innovation. So the technology is essential both on reducing friction and on boosting the innovation side on the platform. So another question is, what's the role of fairness in ecosystems or in platforms? And I would argue that fairness is absolutely essential because it actually helps to foster the innovation. I'll give you a really wonderful example. Many of you may be following in the news these days that the Artists Guild and the Actors Guild have sued the artificial intelligence companies. That includes OpenAI, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion. Why? Because their copyrighted material has been used to create value or perhaps compete with the artists. And it's an interesting trade-off in either direction. If the AI companies win, well, then there's a danger of actually competing with the artists whose work created some of that or helped create some of that content. There may also be arguments for unjust enrichment in there. But at the same time, if the artists win outright, then can you imagine the difficulty of actually trying to negotiate with hundreds of millions of pieces of copyright owners? What happens then to technological innovation? A fair regime might actually allow you to move forward in ways that you could actually help with innovation. You might then create value, but then share a portion of that value back. We've got a really interesting set of growth economics, innovation economics, where rather than one party owning all of the outcome, maybe the multiple contributors each can get their share. And this is one of the things I think is a real attribute of Wisdomise. They want to use a meritocracy where if you've contributed to something, whether it's an algorithm, whether it's data, whether it's better planning and strategy, the Wisdomise tokens might actually help you participate in that value creation. That then should shake loose a willingness to share more information, to participate in the ecosystem, and actually, if it works out well, then lead to better training of algorithms and better wealth creation for all the participants. So I think it's a very good, fair regime that should actually be beneficial to all the stakeholders. So what's the role of governance in these platforms? Really, you can think of governance as a couple of different attributes. One of them is who may participate within the ecosystem. Second is how do they create value and divide that value once it's created. And the third is how they resolve conflict. All of those things really matter. It's also important that good governance is inclusive. Many of the platforms I would describe as kind of feudal economic systems, almost like the 1600s. In some ways, you and I are serfs in the fiefdoms of Page, Bezos, Zuckerberg, and Musk. We don't get to share in the value, and we don't actually get to help make the rules. But good governance allows you to participate in the rules. One of the things that Wisdomise has done with its tokens is quite impressive. It allows folks to use those both for voting, but also for equity sharing. So there's the ability to participate in all levels within the ecosystem, whether you're coming in for the first time, whether you're trading, whether you are trying to participate in making the rules and smart contracts even within the system. So the good governance is effective to good platform design, and I think Wisdomise has done a really admirable job of putting that together.